Guys, Chad with Budget Bug Out. Thanks for watching. Got a lot of requests about what's a good defensive handgun, what's a good carry gun. There's a lot of good guns out there. Do the job the right way. I'm just going to go over my guns, what I carry, why I carry them, and what I prefer. So you guys have all seen, before we get started, both of my guns are going to be checked to make sure they're clear. Okay? Nothing in the chamber. Okay? Nothing in the magazine. So we don't have to worry about that. So you guys have seen my M&P 9 compact. This is my everyday carry. One of the things I like about the M&Ps are they're striker fired, so there's no external hammer. What you get with striker fire for the most part, okay, is you're going to get a consistent trigger pull every single time. You don't have a lot of with the hammer gun. You have the first one that's going to be really, really hard until the hammer goes back, and then it's a nice, easy trigger pull. When we're in a self-defense scenario, we need everything to be as consistent as possible, so that's why I prefer the striker fire pistol. This is my everyday carry, M&P 9mm compact, okay, double stack, 12+1. Okay, and here's a few of the features why I prefer the M&P. So as I've said before, under a stressful situation, when we do have to protect our lives, the less buttons, the better. So you'll notice on the gun itself, there's not too many buttons here. Just a slide lock, a takedown lever, and that's it, and a magazine release. Okay? No external safety. Now people say, well, there's no safety on the gun. Not true. There is an internal safety, a couple of them. Here's one, for instance, if you see this little triangle right here on the trigger itself, that is a safety. If I pull this back, this will not fire. You actually have to pull the trigger all the way back in order for it to fire. You just heard the click. So that's a very, very good feature. There is a safety on it. If you drop the gun, it will not fire. It's just so don't ever think there is no safety on the gun. There's just no external safety. You'll notice here, no external safety. The why I prefer that with a defensive handgun is, God forbid I do have to fight for my life, I can pull the gun out, go to work, and pull the trigger, and it goes bang every time. Why I like the M&P. Number one, I do prefer striker-fired pistols. I already talked about trigger pull. So the best two striker-fired pistols out there right now, there's a few other ones we'll get into, but history, track record, are going to be a Glock and an M&P. Okay? Why I choose 9mm, everybody already knows, capacity, and with ballistics of bullets today, there really is a very, very minute difference between 9.40 and 45. So M&P 9C, okay, with the magazine loaded, okay, with the pinky extension, you get a very, very nice full firing grip. And again, as you guys have seen before, it does take a full-size M&P mag. I usually have the X-Grip adapter on it just to complete the grip, but you could do it like this if you wanted to. Okay, now one thing I want to let everybody know is certain bullets are designed for certain guns, okay? So here's my M&P 9 full size, okay? This is the full size version of the compact. You can see the difference here. I'll show it to you. You can see the difference here, okay? There's the difference in size of the... Now, here's the thing. What do I carry in my full size 9, my tactical setup? I carry Barnes TAC-X PD rounds. Why do I carry a different round, which is going to be the Hornady Critical Defense, in my compact gun? There's a reason why. Obviously, with a shorter barrel, the bullet has less time to get up to velocity. So you want to make sure that the round you're putting in your compact gun is designed for a compact pistol. Well, these Hornady Critical Defense are designed to keep their ballistics out of a smaller gun. You'll notice it's a little bit heavier of a cartridge. I think it's 147 grain as opposed to the 115 grain of the Barnes. So that's important too, is matching up the correct bullet with your gun. Now, the good thing about the M&Ps, it doesn't really matter what I put in this. I've put crappy hand loads in, which I'll never do again. But both of these pistols will eat any ammo you put through them. It really doesn't matter. That's just a byproduct of a very, very well-made pistol. Now, obviously, the SIGs are really, really good. HKs, Walther PPQ-M2, the SIG 320. Those are a little bit newer, so there hasn't been as much testing with them. There hasn't been as much history of use with them. But the M&P and the Glocks have been 10, 15 years of amazing, amazing service. Now, guys, remember, it's a machine. Every machine is going to break. Make sure it's taken care of. Make sure it's lubed up. Always have replacement parts for it. But at the end of the day, the ergonomics of the gun plus the price point. You can literally pick up the M&P Compact right now anywhere between $4 and $4.50. You can pick up the M&P Full-Size anywhere between $5 and $5.50. Okay, so obviously $50 to $75 to $100 cheaper than some of the Glock offerings. Now, one of the things I do want to mention, which is a training issue, you can always get around it. However, anyone that's ever held a Glock understands that it has a different shooting position. You'll notice with a Glock, the grip comes out more like this. This is more of a traditional 1911 style shooting position. So when I point it out, it's just a natural point, okay? I don't have to adjust the way I shoot. Another reason I do recommend the M&P. So that's pretty much it. I mean, they're both amazing, amazing guns. This one has, I don't know, 4,000 or 5,000 rounds through it. This one probably only 1,000 because I did just get it. Now, one thing I also wanted to mention, a lot of people have a problem with maybe buying a used firearm. Okay, I'm going to let you know right now, I bought both of these firearms used. There's a reason why. As long as you test the firearm before you actually purchase it, meet up with a guy at a range if your state allows you to do so, fire the weapon. The reason why I prefer sometimes to buy used is because you're going to get a lot more value for your money. What do I mean by that? So, for instance, when I purchased this M&P, I actually got this on a trade with another handgun. I'm not going to mention the price because I'm sure you'll never find one that cheap, but you'll notice the frame is stippled. Okay, well, guess what? That's about $100 to get that done right there. So now I have an extra $100 into my gun that I didn't have to take the time to do. Okay, here's another thing. M&Ps are known for not having an audible reset. So one of the fundamentals of shooting a pistol is recoil management and trigger control. Okay, one of the things you want to do is use trigger reset. What that means is when I pull the trigger, okay, you heard that? That's a click. So instead of letting the trigger come all the way back out, I want to be able to just keep it right there and pull it again. And keep this one, just happens to, you have to keep pulling the slide because there's no actual ammo in it. But right there, instead of letting it all the way back out. Okay, so the gentleman that I got it from was ex-military. He actually put a reset trigger in here. Again, that's another $150. Okay, so there you go. That's obviously a great thing about getting used, is because most people have done all the upgrades for you already as long as the gun is in good shape. One of the things, especially on the M&P, you do want to focus on is the barrel. Okay, you'll see it's got a little bit of wear here. Nothing crazy. All right, it's got some wear points, but it's nothing bad. The internals are clean, everything. Now, with the full size, again, I bought it used. Here's why. Frame stippling. Okay, again, texturing to get that good grip. All right, $150. Look at the sights. The difference between the sights on here, regular 2-dot sights with the white front, okay? You'll notice the color here. So I have HD fiber optic sights on the front. $150 already done to the gun. Now, the best part about the full size, okay, is the trigger. The biggest drawback about the M&P anybody will ever tell you is the factory trigger. It does suck. It does take a long time to get good with it, but it can happen, and I've gotten good with it on the M&P, on the compact. With the full size, the gentleman put in what's called the Apex trigger kit. Okay, so you'll notice here on this one, it's got this long mush before it actually breaks. Okay, this one does not. Again, checking clear. Okay, checking again and making sure. Okay, this one does not. This has a quick bang, and then it goes, and it resets again. Okay, so and it resets here instead of letting it come all the way back there. So he already did all that work to the gun when I got it. So I got this for $550 with the sights, with the stippling, with the trigger, with 4 mags and a holster. Well, the gun itself out of the box is $550. None of that work done, 2 mags. Okay, each of these M&P mags is $40 a piece. I'm up $80 right there. Frame stippling, $100. That's $180. $100 to $150 to put the sights on. All right, $330 plus the trigger job in the middle. Let's say $50 to $100. So I'm literally have $900 into this gun, and I paid $550 for it because I bought it used. Okay, so that's a very, very good option. It's just like a used car. Any other machine that's used, you obviously want to make sure it's in really good working condition before you do purchase it. Okay, bring it to the range, put a round through, put a mag through. Put a mag. Don't put a whole box. Waste the guy's time. But put a mag through the gun when you do buy it used. This way you'll know that it does work properly. But I do appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions, comments, let me know. But again, carry gun, tactical gun, whatever. Smith & Wesson, M&P. I challenge you to find a better gun for the price. All right. Again, budget bug out. Are there SIGs and HKs that are better or just as good? Absolutely. $650, $750, $800, all the way up to $1,100, $1,200, $1,300 for a firearm. Here's another thing. God forbid you ever have to use that firearm. This may get taken away from you by the law until they figure out what happened. Well, if they take away a $500 gun, I'm not going to be that upset. If they take away a $1,000 gun, I might be a little upset. So, again, just my thoughts on my pistols. I really appreciate it. Do have some cool stuff coming up with rifles I'm getting and body armor and all that. So we'll go through all that. But if you have any questions, let me know. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.